Saturdays, the rabbit holes live at 7 p.m. where the truth will thrive. Digging deep, uncovering the lies, sifting through the chaos, we're reaching for the skies. So tune in, friends, don't you ever miss. Joe Slick's got the stories that you shouldn't dismiss. Come take a journey with me, come ride on my train. We'll dive into the long and winding lane. Events and phenomena we're here to share. Joe Slick and the crew, we're going everywhere. The weekly wrap-up, Fridays at 5. Catch all the highlights, feel the vibe. So grab a front row seat, let's unravel the tale. With passion and grit, we'll never fail. We're on this mission, yeah, we're gonna shine. Join the journey, my friends, it's about that time. Remember what I say, let it stick in your head. Don't get known on you, just words that we spread. Come take a journey with me, come ride on my train. We'll dive into the long and winding lane. Events and phenomena we're here to share. Joe Slick and the crew, we're going everywhere. Morning reports at 8, we'll break down the news. In Arizona time, we'll light up your views. So here's my invitation, don't let it slide. Joe Slick's got the stories, come take a ride. With a wink and a smile, we'll navigate the path. Together we'll find truth, let's do the math. Citizen journalist, I take pride in my name. Joe Slick's on the mic, we're changing the game.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Friday. You know what day it is? That's right. It's Steak Friday, baby. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Wait, let me do that again. Can you dig it? I love it. Oh, I love it. Hey, good morning to you. Good morning, Calmness. Good morning, Vampy. Good morning, Flutter Girl. Good morning, Lake Girl. Good morning, Susan Girl. Good morning, Susan. Schultz Girl. There's a lot of girls in here. Good morning, 42. Good morning, Faith. Surfer. Faith takes Surfer, eh? All right. Good morning, Timmy. Good morning, Walleye King. Yeah. Good morning, Canuck. My boy. Yeah, good morning to you all. Got my my Joe Slick shirt on. Yeah. Happy coffee time, too. Salud! Yeah. Oh, man. It wasn't so cool, man. I made my coffee this morning, and I was picking up my cinnamon roll my wife bought, and I knocked the darn thing over. Look, it's got a lid on it, right? So I thought, well, it knocked over. It's not going to, pour out. Well, guess what? The lid came off. So I lost 3/4 of my coffee. Oh, man, I'll tell you. But, that I didn't have any sleep last night. So I'm really, really, really in a terrible way, kind of. But, like 2 hours sleep, 1 hour sleep. I've been up since, what was it, 12:30? I saw 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. And finally I passed out till about 5. And then just, It is what it is, though. Sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Anyway, good to see you. I hope your week's been really good. I know we've been praying for Vampy quite a bit this week. Not saying for what it is. It's her responsibility to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, keep her in your prayers if you don't mind. If anybody needs prayer, that's what we do here. As you know, it's not just earthquakes and solar and stuff. Hey, we do pray for people, and guess what? Because we have access to the throne of God, we just come into an agreement with His will. Well, what's His will? Well, you got to know Him. And when you know Him, you find that will out. You see, if you put your child, right? If you put your child in the way of a bullet to save somebody else that didn't deserve it, but because it was righteous, and your child was willing to do it, that's the kind of love for the unlovable that God has. See, He did that in sending His Son to get crucified for us. We didn't even know Him. We didn't know God existed. But once you come into a relationship with Him, by listening to His Son, what the Son said about His Father, and He introduces you to His Father, then it's a whole different ballgame. Because you can boldly go and come unto the throne of God. Because He's your Father too. That's why Jesus said, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be Thy name. Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Forgive us as we forgive others. Right? Give us today our daily bread. Right? Don't lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Right? All of that stuff, He's teaching you about the ways of God and an understanding. So it's pretty simple. Every opportunity that you have in life, to pray, you have access. See, our earth belongs to us. It doesn't belong to the devil. It belongs to us, right? The devil's trying to take it over, and we're trying to give it to him, right? But God gave it to us. He didn't give it to Satan, right? The reason He said to the Lord, He said, hey, man, I can give you these kingdoms because they were delivered unto me. You're right, because they surrendered unto the devil. Not all have. So, this world belongs to you. And when you ask God to do on this earth as He wants to in heaven, guess what? It's easy. You cannot take the glory. You can't do anything because it's not you. You're just agreeing with God in heaven that He wants to do. See, He loves you so much He wants you to prosper. He doesn't want you to be in pain. Case in point, I think it was early last week, I was doing a show here, and it bypassed this thing, okay? A word was coming out my mouth, and I heard the word, and I'm like, what the heck? I don't even know what that word means. Why would I use it there? So I kind of brushed it aside. Then it happened again. And then again, I go, okay, I've had experienced this before, so I'm going to look the word up, right? It happened again, but in this particular case, conjunctivitis. I don't know what that is. I'm like, okay. I said, okay, let me look it up. Oh, it's pink eye. No, it's not what he said. It was conjunctivitis. It's an irritation in the eye. And it builds a lot of film and stuff in your eyeball, or in your eye, between your eye and the eyelid. and it's gobbledygook in your eyeball, in your eye, outside your eye, right? And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a risk here. I think there's a word here for somebody out there, which, if you're not experienced to the word of knowledge or the word of wisdom or the word of understanding or the gifts of the Spirit, it's the gift of the Spirit. It's not the gifts, it's the gift of the Spirit. If you're not aware of that, then you probably don't understand this. But that word came to me and I said it. And you know what? Somebody said, yeah, that's me. And this person got a confirmation because their name changed colors on screen here for them. And God was telling them, hey, yeah, that's you, dummy, or yummy. He didn't say dummy, he said yummy. And so they said, okay. Now, most people say, stop right there. Okay, I got a healing, because she did. She got a complete healing, total healing. Most people stop there. But see, sometimes God wants you to reach out for your healing because he wants to do something else. See, he's leading you, right? As he's leading you, then you can kind of learn his ways. And this person, I told the rest of the prophetic word that came because of that situation. I'm expecting really interesting things from this person, and eyeball, right? What do you do with your eye? But you see, right? So what is God telling this person? I'm going to give you new sight, right? A new sight, new understanding in a situation or situations, I don't know. But see, that's how God operates. That's how Papa operates. So when you need prayer, don't be ashamed. Don't be, lax. Come to the children of God, because we are the answer here. We present it before the Lord and our Father, because he gave us this earth, right? We become like our Lord, because we too are the children of God. There are things going to happen in the future here in time. I don't know what time. I don't even have a clue. That the world's not going to have your answer. But the children of God will, because they have relationship with the Almighty Creator, the one who did all of this stuff. And the stuff that we study every day is because this is what we're learning of him. There's some things he's put in order that's going to happen regardless, and there's some things we can mitigate the results, and there's some things we can change. So be aware of all that. I don't know why I needed to say that, but I'm super encouraged by people praying here for other people. That's the beauty of family. And you're part of that family if you're here. And I don't know what God's going to do. I'm just kind of, limping my way through with a lot of stuff, issues on my end of the world. And, dealing with stuff, but it's just normal life, right? I know that what's happening here is real. It's not pretend. People have touched. Now, the one instance I told you about that condition, that's not the only thing that's happened. Another person had COVID, and they had a an issue in their lungs that was due to a fire that it took place around their house, and their heart was failing. We prayed, and guess what? God delivered that person too. Complete deliverance. It was such a bad COVID that people were dying within a week. That strain of whatever it was. Healthy people dying within a week. This person had it, couldn't get the ivermectin or nothing. But they tried everything but prayer. We went before the throne of God and we asked for this person. And God said, I agree with you. Bam. You know, who can argue with the potter, right? Look, this little thing right here, you made it, and this thing's failing right here. And he says, all right, well, let me fix it for you. Boop. You know, it's like another guy, you know, didn't have an eyeball, and the Lord spit in the ground, made some mud, put it in the eye socket, right? Because that's what we are. We're mud. Our flesh is mud. Our souls are not. You have a mind, your will, and emotions, right? You cut your hand off doesn't mean it stops you from being you. It stops you from using that tool. Your body is a tool. Flip it. If you're begotten anew, right? You're a new creation in Christ. And you've been, the second step, baptized in the Spirit. That means engulfed by God's Spirit, birthing a new spirit in you. You too can do the things that the Lord did. Why? Because out of the Spirit comes the fruit of the Spirit, the gifts of the Spirit. Without it, the devils know who our Lord is. The devils know who God is. Right? There's something more that needs to take place. If you need a gift of the Holy Spirit, if you need that assurance that you are a child of God, reach out to the people here. They'll reach out to you, and they will change. It'll change. Your life will change. And just as this outside flesh is dying, the new side, or the spirit that you have, will live everlasting. That's what eternal life is. Jesus defined it, John 17:3. What? He defined eternal life? Yeah. It's not what you think. I'm going to live forever. It's not what you think. You can't live forever until you get the first step, then the second step, then the third step. Yeah. That they know you, the only true God, and the one you sent. I've given them your words, Lord, and they've received them. Our Lord said. You have to believe the Son. You have to listen to the Son. No one can come to the Father but through me. Yeah. No one knows the Father but I do, he said. If you want to know the Father, listen to the Son. And I'm going to tell you about our Lord. That's that's the one I want you to go to. Don't come to me. Go to him, because I still have this. And it's no good. It'll lead me astray. But thanks God that I have something greater than my heart, which fails me. And that's him. Because he wants it more than I do, for me to be with him. And that's my 15 minutes of proclaiming the gospel to you. And that's the real gospel, by the way. And the gospel of the kingdom. And you have to enter the kingdom. You got to see it to know it, and then to know it to enter it. Yeah. But anyway, big hugs, y'all. It was my name changed from. Oh, okay. I didn't want to out anybody who might be feeling a little bit crazy. Let's see. And nobody can. And it's not for us to identify. It's, again, our Lord. He takes care of everything. Solar wind right now is 412. Proton density is at 9. We've had an M2 and a C8 flare in the last 24 hours. In fact, there's been quite a bit, there's been many M flares. Let's check out how many they've been. Yeah. Going all the way back to the 3rd of August, and today's the 8th, so 5 days, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, could have been a 6, 6, 7, 8. 8 M flares in the last 5 days. I mean, if you look at the base level of it, it's not super active. So what's happening is there's one particular or two particular sunspots that are just like bling, 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 bling. You know, what was that? Winnie the Pooh, Tigger 2. It's kind of like Tigger 2. Right? So, and we just almost had another M flare. It came up to, C8, and now it's on its way back down. Crazy. So let's take a look at what's going on in the disk. I think it's 68 that's busy. Yeah, 68. 68's busy. Now, we're about right here. Right, yeah, you can see that. We're about right here. 68, 65, bing, ding, 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 right? Just going crazy. And then as it gets on this end, I'm going to be watching for something a little bit stronger because it does have power enough for X. However, it's a bunch of M's right now. I don't know what's happening on this end yet. Haven't seen anything. If we've seen this, right? This is the explosion that happened the other day off the sun, and there's another one that comes back. So it's going to clip us, and then one's going to go way out in front of us. And that might have been the one we saw before, and that's Mars up there, I believe. Or maybe not. I don't know where the hell that is. I don't know what that one is. I thought that would be Mars. But anyway, let's go ahead and yeah, let's go ahead and check this out, where the BZ is right now. Active geomagnetic conditions right now is at a 4. So it's not a geomagnetic storm at a 5, not a G1. But we're expected to have a G1 or G2. All right? And you can see the BZs staying in the south, which means the equatorial region. Most of the energy is coming out of the south for us. That means here's the disk, here's the sun right here, and it's exploding. It's exploding more south than it is on the north, I'm assuming. On this day in history, in 2024, we had an X1, which we might get today. In 2011, we had an M5, and in 1998, we had an M4. So on this day in history, it's kind of normal, right? In 1983, we had a G4, super strong storm in 1983. 1982, we had something like that. 1970, we had a G1. So on this day in history for geomagnetic storms, it's kind of, not a lot, right? The last X flare we had was June 19. The last M flare was today, of course, August 8th of 25. And the last geomagnetic storm was July 22, and it was a KP5 or a G1 magnetic flare. Looking at, let me see, sunspot regions. Yeah, we could look at the sunspot regions here. And I want to look at do I have it over here? Yeah. I want to look at some of the videos here and push go on this. So right up here has been popping. Or right up here, actually. Something a little bit right there. Right there. Little bzz, bzz, bzz. Yeah, it doesn't look like much is happening. So going to LASCO. Let's check out LASCO. LASCO 2. See if anything's emitting from the sun. Just a little bit there and a little bit there, huh? Yeah, kind of going to the south. You see those two little small ones? There's a little bit of energy here in the south. You see there's a ring right there. That may be a little filament. Maybe not. No, just a little bit of stuff. Then there's a pop right on the south. See that one too, back on the back side here. They're very light. I don't suspect they're super strong. See, there's something here that came out. See how it's flickering? Those are the C flares, strong C's. And M's, boom, 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 like 3 of them right there. There's another one. And then one just at the very end. Right there. Right there on the back side there. So that's a little behind the sun. Now, I don't know if that's going straight out or it's actually coming at us. Because this one here already came out. So we'll find out. Let's look at the solar wind from the Aussies. I'm looking at the dynamic pressure up here, which right up there, okay. Dynamic pressure up here, and then the standoff. Standoff stays normal, but around 10. Solar wind hasn't kicked up, but 300-400 kilometers. Proton density stays around 9, 4 going up to 9. I don't see it much higher than that. So, I mean, there's an increase. All right. So maybe that geomagnetic storm is going to be intensify. We might get a geomagnetic storm. We might get some stuff here. Looking at the ground magnetics. Look at these. Ooh. All right. So the Earth is feeling something, right? Yeah. These are magnetic perturbs over the globe at ground level, right? And generally they coincide with auroras, generally, and magnetic perturbs. So there's anomalies that affect the planet. There's a drop down here in the States, maybe the East Coast, all the way into the Caribbean. I'm going to be watching that. I don't know what's happening earthquake-wise, so bear with me. This is about 1,300 hours. So a couple hours back, I think this is a 4-hour window, maybe a 6. And then it intensifies and then lightens up. The Atlantic and the Sandwich Islands. From the Sandwich Islands all the way to Iceland. That's what I'm looking for. Something earthquake-wise to happen in that region. It may be east of Sandwich, Prince Edward Island or something, or whatever it's down there. It's way down there. I'm not going there, God willing. You just never know. But yeah, we'll be watching what's going on down there. So, yeah, so Stereo A is saying that the plasma will come in on the 10th, but we're seeing here plasma come in on tonight, between tonight and tomorrow. We see an uptick right now. Solar wind, it peaked and it's kind of, but it's to the south of us, really, the solar wind. This is a side view, and this is the top view. You can see both waves were out in front of us. And it doesn't look like we're going to run into it. So we escape another one. Hey, it's all good. When you can escape. Now, think about this. The sun is freaking huge in our little planet, right? And so when it pops off something, a bunch of plasma, it can do a lot of damage. There's theories that there's a reason why Mercury, Mars, and the moon and some of the other planets have weak atmospheres, and radiation just pounds them. So, let's see here. We've talked all about the solar stuff. Planet positions. If you're looking for Uranus, it's on the other side of the sun. Mercury's visible. Saturn and Neptune. Definitely, right? Jupiter's on the other side. So when we're looking at the Glasgow, I don't think we can even see Jupiter because it's on the other side of the disk, right? Yeah, it's on the backside. Pleiades is going out of view. So, but anyway, so that's what you can see now. Mars is on the other side of the, where all the other planets are. Mercury should be coming into view soon, I think. Nope, it's going to go out of view. And as we go into September, Earth will be close to Saturn and Neptune. And Venus will be, catching a little bit with the Jupiter there. And Merc will be probably in view by then. I don't think, maybe Merc will come into view on that September sometime. Right. So looking at the tremors. Yeah. Looking at the tremors, holy shoot hola. 268 tremors up here in Olympia region. Now, I wonder how many days does it take? It said 10. I'm just going to let it out. 10 days for a lot of vibrations to be determined that it's an ETS, right? So I'm going to just check to see if the tremor log, ETS research, episodic tremor and slip, Earth and Space Scientists, University of Washington. And they don't have anything on there. And the log, Northern Washington has no special experiment field. This ETS, however, other groups may have interesting observations that can be reported here if authorized. We will be tracking reporting ETS using data only from real-time networks, UW, UOCN, PBCA, and or information reported by others. The last ETS event that they recorded was the summer of 24. We're the summer of 25, 1 year, and August 6th to September 6th, a whole month worth, right? And this was, just to satisfy everyone's need to see a map, including below colored by time, and the main sequence that we hope is back on a roughly 14 or 15 month schedule. They hope because it changed, and they're like, "What's going on? Whoa, Waggy!" It's like, hey, note that the nicely progress from north to south. The next one of these should occur this coming fall. I'll try not to be so remiss in blogging about it when it comes. Okay, they're calling it from here down to here, right? No, it's actually down here, moved up. We're already in it, right? So going back to this thing's already been going on. See, it should be migrating north, but it isn't. There's the day before. 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 There's the 1st of August. And the 31st. Right? It's already on Vancouver Island up there, right? 729, 728. It's still busy. Man, we're talking 2 weeks worth in this region right here. In the San Juan Islands, we're catching some. It just hasn't moved on to Vancouver Island. That may be reason why they're not calling it an ETS event, because it's not acting normal. You know? Okay. This was the day that we see nothing happened. Well, I think somebody was out to lunch. You know, because down here there was a little bit. We go back to the 23rd. Well, it's lower than it was. Right? So it migrated. It was down here. Right? So what's gone on is we had vibrations down here in northern Cal. We had vibrations down here south of Portland. And now we have vibrations here in Olympia. It's like it's this, right? Or for you it would be this way, right? This, and this along the coast. Vibration down here. I can't even do it. In the middle and in the top. Right? So it's vibrate. The vibrations have migrated north. You know, here we are on the 7th. The vibration started down here and migrated north, all within a month. So, on one of the articles, the guy who he's retired, USGS guy, geologist. Okay, he's a retired geologist. He said, "What's happening in the midst between two notable ETS events, episodic tremor event?" He said it's changed. Things have changed where there's interim ETS events. It's not just Vancouver Island and the Olympic Peninsula. And that's why in that little article I read, just the one line, he says, we're now open to others, you know, and their observations, provided that they're using, you know, real information and real data. And it kind of matches with the data that we're using. So it's helpful, you know. And I anticipate the guy coming back here, I think late fall, probably November, when this next ETS event's supposed to start up. Like, this might be kicking it into gear right now. And he may talk about it migrating north in the next articles that he writes. Now, for an ETS event to happen, it's got to be a high number in the same area for 10 days. Or act like one of the other ones. Some events are stronger than the others. And like I've said before, in the articles that he's written, he surmised that scientists watch this event closely because they're not sure how the year 1700 took place in the Pacific Northwest, when the area was rocked by what they think is a 9. And it wasn't the only one that's happened. Now, we've talked about it on Rabbit Hole several times, and we'll continue. Maybe we'll even talk about it tomorrow, as well as we're talking about what's happening in Southern Cal, and in the migration in Nevada, and across the states, actually. There's a lot of things going on, and we want to bring our observations together and talk about it. That'll happen on Saturday. And these events going on, I think, helps give us a clue to what's going on. Now, they believe that during these events, That's when the 9 will happen, or 10, or there are other people who really stress the idea, yeah, it's going to happen. I've been watching it forever and watching a volcano, da, 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 da. We can see activity going into the, where is it? Volcano seismology. I'm going to go look at St. Helens, see what we're seeing. That one's still closed. We're looking at Marata. You can see noise, right? See the signal, right? That's noise. It's pretty steady. You can see the earthquake that happened, right? Whether it's a rock fall or in the midst of the magma rising. Got Lewitt. You can see there's a lot of noise. Low level vibrations, that's what I'm trying to get at. Going east off the mountain or west off the mountain, flat top. Little vibrations, you can see the signal, right? Then you can see that one earthquake. And now we go to Rainier. Going off the mountain, going west, right? Puyallup River. See that signal? Same kind of signal, eh? Is it storming up there? We'll check that out in a minute. Don't want to. You can see all the earthquakes that have happened on Rainier. Is this an indicator that Rainier is going to erupt? I don't think so. But hey, 0.9, 0.5, 0.1. Do you see what I mean? No. This one here was a 2.2. Yeah. So looking up here, through the seismogram, you can see all these little ding, 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 ding. It could be rock slides. It could be movement of the glacier, water coming down. You can see clearly there's a signal here and a signal here and a signal there, right? We went back the day before. You can see strong signals and then all of a sudden weak signals, right? And you can see a major earthquake that went through here that it felt. I don't know what, that could have been the 5 or 6 that happened in Kamchatka yesterday. Going before, the week before, you see a couple of earthquakes that have happened and some vibrations, right? Even the signals had the vibrations going on. These are just indicators. So looking at Hood, because we're looking at the up in the north, right? Trying to get close to what's happening up there. Haiyu Mountain, all right, previous. Some vibrations. It isn't just like one line going like flat line, right? Okay, right on the mountain itself, Yoakum Ridge. It's not like this. You see what I'm saying? This is a reset, and there's that earthquake that happened, right? That the whole area felt. Even all the volcanoes felt this. Previous, there's the noise. And then there's the noise, right? Go previous again. That's the signal that I'm looking for. Yes, that's the ETS visuals that I see when there's like an ETS event happening. So is there an ETS event happening? Could be. But it just isn't full time yet to see it. So in looking at that, we'll just kind of set that aside and then look at the drunk Chinaman. You know there's a drunk Chinaman out there? And he's been moving. Yeah. I don't see any drunk Chinamen today. No, not when they're practicing to take over this area. They're going to blockade it. And they have to blockade it because they don't want to have the West supporting them because they're Democrat and all them then Chinamen up there are commie loving, whatever. Don't see any up in here. The other day there were these two buoys were going right? You got 2 hurricanes. This is a hurricane turned into a hurricane. And a tropical storm, and they're going to turn into a depression off the coast of Baja. And Pacific is done. Now, the Eastern or the Atlantic, got to watch out. Sometimes they come in real close. Yeah. Then the Ruskies. There are Ruskies up here. And you can bet that we have, up here in the Bering Sea, we have submarines. Yep. All right. Mom is okay. I'm just checking Mom because I got a dinger. Yeah. Let me make sure. Oh, that's good. My buddy's dog is very old, and he just sent me saying, blood work came back, he's just normal. It's good. I'm happy for him. Because old Pepe is, I think he's like 17. And he walks around like, he's one of those dogs that have that little, strut. But he's blind as a bat now. And he's definitely deaf. And when he wipes his feet, he's like a bucking bronco. He's got so much personality. It's great. Well, anyway, back to it here. All right. So on this day in history, thank you, 42. Wait, where is it? My land. There we go. On this day in history, Guam in 1993 had a 7.8. 48 people were injured in Guam. 7.8 is freaking huge. Oh, my land. Centered about 50 kilometers south of Guam. Extensive damage, 9 to the hotels on Tumen Bay area in Guam. Cracks tens of meters long, 25 to 50 centimeters wide, caused by liquefaction in the underlying soil. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've dreamed when an earthquake happened and the island sank. So I don't go to the islands, man. There's sharks in the water. Yeah, I don't want to be on a sinking ship. Hey, go see Jaws and they'll scare the pee out of you. Come on. I've killed enough fish in my life, done a lot of evil, so don't put yourself in harm's way, I think. What else did it say? Damaging facilities in commercial port, naval base, and Arpra Harbor. Damage to level 7 occurred at several locations in the northern half of the island. At one end of the approach to a bridge at Pago Bay fell more than 35 centimeters. Many landslides and rock slides were reported, mainly in the southern half of the island. Preliminary estimate of loss and damage occurred, placed $112 million, and a loss from damaged private residents estimated several $1 million as well. Slight damage on Saipan and Rota and Tinian Islands. A tsunami was generated with the maximum wave heights at selected tide stations as follows. 98 centimeters at Moroto, 68 centimeters at Chichi, Shima, Bonin Islands, and 58 centimeters at Toashimizu, Shikoku, 56 centimeters at, how much is 50 centimeters? About, 3 inches? you know? 50 centimeters is how many inches? 19 inches. All right. It's a foot. So 50 centimeters is a foot. Or 19 inches, right? So that's a foot and a half? Yeah, foot and a half. 50. All right. Now we got it. So nothing was really big, you know. Even Oahu had 14 centimeters, right? Not 50, 14. So a little wave, you know, okay. Also, on this day in history, Tarapaca, Chile, up in the center part of the armpit, 6.9 in 1987. That's one area we're watching currently. As you know, both myself and Canuck, or Canuck and myself, however you want to take it, we are watching specific areas due to the 8.8. And right now, the top of the globe is really heavy. And for me, wait, come on. There we go. The top of the globe is heavy, baby. That's heavy, right? Just look at how much activity on the top of the globe, right? And this is what, 3 days? That's all week, right? Everything above, let's see. Let me put it at above 4. Can you see it? Can you dig it? So all of it is on this side of the planet, right? Looks like it's moving all the way down into Fiji, right? And past Vanuatu, down into the New Zealand, and then it comes out down here, making its way around, right, around the Horn, coming on up, and it's right in Mexico right now. Whoa, what? Yeah, it's into Mexico now. The idea that yesterday or the day before is 3.5 was an assurance that, you know, California is going to go. No, but it's going to go sometime. And generally speaking, I want to see something larger happen in Alaska first. It's more apt to go first because it has to make room for the slide of the chicken leg. The chicken leg's cranking it, boom, boom, boom. You know, it's like a fulcrum, right? And it's cranking itself up. So that's just above 4. Let's go into the 5s. And we're looking around. It's got a second here. All right, that's a week's worth of 5s. Right? You can see the 5s moving on down. We got the 5s out here in the Caribbean or the Atlantic actually, and then or the Caribbean. In Mexico, also down here in Chile. It's empty right here. So this is the area right here in Chile. That's what Canuck and I are a little bit concerned, that and Peru. And then once those two break, then I got to watch Panama and Costa Rica. And we'll start to see a lot more movement across the United States coming out of out here from the Atlantic, which has been starting to bang as well. So today, 4.1 up there in Alaska, up in the Gulf, you can see this area has to adjust. It's normal. May it be up here in Northern Cal, where that just happened, a 0.4. And then Hawaii just had a 2.0 as well. So it's rotating counterclockwise around the planet, coming back to where it came. This 8.8 was no friggin' joke. It wasn't just an 8.8. There were 2 7s involved. So 3 major quakes, and then you get a couple of 6s in here, right? There's a 6 right here, right? And the same signal, if I go to display capture, there you go. Right? Here's a 6. Let's look at the origins just for shits and giggles. Yeah, 5.7. 6. 2. 6 1. 6 2. 6 1. So they've got it as a 6. It's right on the money. So, so this area is an area of interest for us, and we'll be talking about that again on Saturday. And I'm doing all my material for for this week. Maybe I don't have to do a weekly wrap up at 5 o'clock tonight, especially when there's nobody there. It's Friday night. Nobody's here on Friday night, so I kind of go a little bit wild. But anyway, I digress, don't I? Yeah, I know. Looking at the earthquakes over the last 12 hours from the EMSC. Whoop, whoop. Go back up. What's going on? Cookies. Except I don't care. Going back to 12 hours here. Here we are, 12 hours. All right. Uzbekistan. Up there. Northern China, southern Russia. 4.4. 4.6, the Kuril Islands. Up here. Still banging up there. Gonna bang for months, by the way. Isuzu Islands, Japan. Southern Japan banging again. Vanuatu comes in at 4.6. Vanuatu. I learned how to say it. I mean, how many months was I saying Vanuatu? I don't know. I didn't know how to say it. I never heard it before. Vanuatu. Vanuatu. Vanna wants to. Anyway. Potasi, Bolivia, 4.1. That is in the armpit. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Well, anyway. Papua New Indonesia, 3.9. Tanzania, 4.8, out there in Africa. 4.3. 4.8, sorry. Kamchatka, 4.5. Kamchatka, 4.3. Kuril, 4.7. 4.8 Kuril. Ding, 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 right? Papua comes in with a 4.1. And done it 3.9 Oaxaca 6 hours ago. Yeah, and everything is pretty chill. Kamchatka 4.4, 4.6. Timor region 4.7. That's down here, over by the volcanoes now. I heard that there were 3 volcanoes over here erupting. I don't know. It didn't come out on the other day, but hey, we'll check it out. 5.3, Halamarahara. Yeah, the Malacca Sea. 4.4 off Kamchatka, 4.7 off Kamchatka. Kamchatka. 5.0, Kamchatka. Kurils, 4.8. Still working south, right? And we're only 3 hours out. Still banging away, right? Negros, Philippines, 3.5. Antofagasta, a couple of Antofagastas, 3.5, 3.7, 3.25. Antofagasta saying hello in Chile. Kurils come in with a 4.6. Ryukyu Islands again, 4.3. Still not done. Do you remember before the 8.8 that the Ryukyu Islands were banging away? Still not done. As you saw on Wednesday, we talked about a couple of years, 1922, 1921, 1952, 1951. We saw some similarities between, repetitive similarities between those years in several locations throughout the world. Now, these areas often have earthquakes because they're around the plate boundary, the Pacific plate, that is, and the Philippine plate, and the adjacent plates that the Philippine bangs into, and the Pacific plate bangs into. Taiwan was one area that just got banged to hell. Japan, banged to hell. The Kurils, banged to hell. Kamchatka, banged to hell. Yeah. Big bangs. So when Kamchatka happens, we have to look south. We look at Japan. We look at Taiwan. We also look in Indonesia over by the Sunda Strait, which is the split between Sumatra and Java. These are areas that, the Java Trench, we have to watch. Now, Timor banging away, okay. But it's been doing it like tick off and then tick off, and then maybe we got to go talking to tick off. I don't know. But who knows? Professor Tickoff. East Kuril Islands banged 15 minutes ago, 4.8. So, watching this line here, Myanmar is also part of that whole deal. Greece is part of that whole deal. I don't understand. It's kind of like this big U-shaped thing, right? You might get some Iranianistans out there. You might get some Uzbekistans and Turkestan. Yeah, Turkey's a stand too, or a stag. But interesting for all that. Top of Italy got banged too a little bit. And then we have this area over here in the armpit. Chile also, during that time period, 22 and 52, gets hit. But also California. Not Vancouver, California. California, 1952, had the largest Southern California earthquake in 100 years at a 7.4. It may have been stronger, but they estimated it at 7.4. So big thing to be watching. That's why we're going to be talking about Mexico and the lead up into California. And Hawaii has a play on that too. But so we're going to be watching closely the activity from Chile, which quite possibly could pull the next 8 or 9, because that trench had some room made. Yeah. And we should see some activity on the EPR, which we already have. And then Mexico should start waking up. A couple 3s and 4s, but we've been watching the volcanoes in Mexico not so much explode, but underneath them have a lot of activity. So it's like, okay. And we were talking about that in the last couple of weeks. And interesting there. And also some people are watching off the coast of California. or no, I'm in Oregon. You know, that undersea volcano that's out there into that hot spot, they're watching that. Also, Rainier was making some noise. And a lot of little tiny earthquakes. And people are going, oh, it's going to erupt. If it's going to erupt, it's going to erupt. Be prepared, okay? And we've told you how to prepare yourselves. So, well, how do I prepare? Move. You know, get off your tail. Buy some waters. Buy some freeze-dried food. Buy a tent. Buy sleeping bags that can be all put into one backpack. Buy some of them energy bars. You're going to need them. And water filtration devices like a straw, a filtration straw, or the cup, or a bigger, large deal. And also, there's you're going to need to boil water. So you're going to need to have something that you can boil water with. Have the drops, you know, as well as the filtration system. So those three things will make water drinkable for you, because sometimes you can have contaminants. And you don't want to get an amoeba where you because you'll dehydrate yourself super fast. So all that to say, let's check out the volcano news. In the news today, volcanically speaking, August 8th, 2025. Santa Guido, Klucheskoi, Popo, Simiru, Ibu, Takono, Raventador, and Sangay. Block. There you go. Santa Guido, 14,000. That's not a whole lot right there in Guatemala. Sangay in Ecuador, it just whoosh, right? Tolica volcano there in Costa Rica, 5,000. It's not stopped. It doesn't come on the news all the time, but you know, Costa Rica. It's busy, but it's not like coming apart. Little Tolo, hey, 6,000 at a Little Tolo. Not Little Toby, but Little Tolo. Timor, right? Look for the seahorse, right? On the seahorse is Toby. Off the seahorse is Tolo. And 6,000. Dacono over there in Halamarahara, 7,000. Ibu in Halamarahara, 7,000. Busy. Popo, 22,000. That's a 17 change going to 22. That's a strong pop out of Popo this morning. About a mile high. It's a 17.8, okay? Going to 22,000. So call it 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 4,000 feet. Boom, right? Pretty serious, I think. Oh, Raventador, there in Ecuador. Yeah, not a whole lot. Just some emissions, some fart in the wind. Klucheskoi, right? Here is Shivalush. Look at the emissions coming out of Shivalush. Klucheskoi, 40,000 feet. Klucheskoi. All right? 1, 2, and then Kashim-Menevikov, or whatever the hell it's called. 3 volcanoes up there that are kicking some ass right now. 40,000 feet. Yeah, Klucheskoi is one of the tallest. 15,800 feet. Right? Explosive activity continues. Volcano ash advisory. Tokyo warned about a volcanic ash plume that rose up an estimated 40,000 feet. In altitude. Flight level is 400 and is moving at 80 knots to the southeast. Southeast. Yeah. Don't know what that guy's going to say. He speaks a different language. He might be one of them Chinese Russians driving the crazy boats, right? I don't know. Little Tolo, 8,000 feet out of Little Tolo. That's Little Toby, sorry, 8,000. Here's the seahorse. Let me see if I can open this up for you. Yeah, here's the seahorse there in just north of Timor. Little Toe Low's over here. Little Toe B's right there. There's the seahorse. All right? So, for some, I can probably do it on this one here. No, I can't. USGS. Terrain. All right. Moving it on over here. So here's Timor, and here's the earthquake that we talked about, and here's the earthquake in Halmahera, right? So here's Java, here's Sumatra, here's Bali. Everybody likes Bali. Follow those islands across, and you'll see the seahorse. Right there is Toby. Right over here is Tolo. All right? Here's Timor. So these volcanoes are active. I heard talk about 3 volcanoes over here. I haven't seen evidence of it, but I'm going to be looking, okay? So, Nevada del Ruiz there in Colombia, saying hello. Kreshminikov, there it is. Elevated eruption continues with 2 lava flows. Interesting. They think that here's the volcano A. Now it's coming out the top and then it's coming out the side. They think that the side here may collapse and blow out like St. Helens. All right. So very interesting. Like Shivalush did. That's why Shivalush is so ugly. And, and St. Helens is so ugly. A lot of volcanoes that happens. Elevated eruption continues. Santa Guido, possible emissions. Sangay. Yeah, they see stuff on webcam. Kluchevskoy, you can clearly see the ash, flowing out of it. 40,000 feet. 8 miles high, right? 5 times 8 is 40. Minus or subtract the height of the mountain off the sea level. Yeah. Pretty high explosions because it's dumping. Shimiru, 15,000 there in Java, southeastern Java. Ibu, 6,000. So it's been popping a couple times a day. And there you go. So that's the latest everywhere. Again, I have not seen any evidence from the rest of people talking about it. Looking at what's happening here, we're watching this trench right here. It's still activated down here in the south. In the Okinawa plate on the Ryukyu Trench, we've had Isuzu side activated as well. We've had earthquakes up here in Hokkaido. We've had the Kurils, 450 miles of banging away from the 8.8 and the 7.4. Did you know it was upgraded to a 7.4? Not many people do. But yeah, it was upgraded. And then a 7.1 over here. Making its way around the horn. Pretty active down here in this section. Pushing down south, making the New Zealanders, a little upset. Tsunami, 6-foot tsunami hit Easter Island, and it hit, Chile as well. This is that well, you can't see that, so hold on, make it like this. Let me move over for you. Well, maybe just do this for you. The Antiplano is the area that we think right now is a high possibility of having major earthquakes, or south at Apuna Sierra Pampeanas down here. So pretty interesting. There's a couple of hot spots out here as well. Also, we've seen a Sandwich Trench activated the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is, can I move that over for you? Yeah. And the Tristan Kahuna, right? Moving on the way up, right? The Ascension Islands. And then we've seen some activity up here as well. So, and the Azores have been kind of activated as well. Then Iceland, of course, right? There's only been one earthquake here, sizable earthquake, a 5, I think, in Rick James. So, watching the world we are. Anyway, happy Steak Friday, everybody. We should be doing what do we got here? Got a big earth on that one, huh? Don't we? Yeah. Properties. Yeah. Well, wait. Let me just bring the filter down here. Eh? Oh, no opacity. All right. So just on the wrong end. I'll bring it forward. There we go. And then looks like the earth got moved. Sure did. Okay, a couple of days, and we're looking at 4s and above. All right. There you have it. And it's big enough for you. So happy Steak Friday, everybody. Celebrate good times, and I'll check in throughout the day and be prepared for something to happen. And we will bring to you if it happens, and when. What else? Yeah. My favorite day of the week, Steak Friday. Why? It's beginning of Sabbath, and we get to enjoy the end of the week. Doesn't seem like I have a time in my brain that works, but I love Steak Fridays, and I love y'all. And again, big hugs to you, and don't get none on you. And yeah, remember of Rabbit Hole tomorrow. Have a good one. I got to tell you, too, that won't have a show Monday or Tuesday until Tuesday night. I'll be traveling. Love y'all.